hear the music?
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back in the New York groove. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts, just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is
K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
Go New York, go New York, go!
All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 610 of the New York Knicks podcast. I am Jay, and Mark is in the same room as me. Holy crap.
Yes. If you're watching a live stream, you'll see me blow soft kisses into Jay's ear throughout the show.
So I couldn't get same height chairs. So Mark is
A little different in height, but
looks a little awkward. But anyway,
yeah. But not awkward is the Knicks are goddamn awesome, and they are up 1-0 in the playoffs. How much do you love in life, Jay?
it is such a good, happy feeling that they won a legit playoff game as an underdog, and it was a great win. Scared the crap out of me when it was 93-92 and they lost the lead, but they came back. Hart was MVP of that game.
Hart was amazing. Hart was the heart of New York.
Hart was.
So I have to say, first thing I really liked about the game was that the NBA made a very smart move, and they hired refs from the 90s to call the game.
Yeah.
Because the reffing, they were just like, oh, you got hit in the face? I don't know if that's a foul.
Do you always talk this loud, or is it just...
Am I really loud?
You're very, very loud.
Oh, maybe because I'm wearing the headphones.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Yeah, but
I'm always loud, Jay.
they were definitely letting them play. Randall abused Mobley.
Abused him.
It was brutal. What else? Donovan played well.
Yeah, Donovan had a great game. But the thing is, the crazy thing about the game is all the things that kind of went wrong for the Knicks, and they still won the game. If I told you ahead of time that IQ would be garbage, IQ would turn the ball over a bunch of times, do nothing worthwhile on the court, you'd be like, oh, I guess we lost. I'd be like, wait, RJ will shoot 2 for 12, and you're like, oh, and we lost, right? No. No one on the team would shoot efficiently. Even Randall and Brunson will not shoot efficiently. Oh, we lost? We did not lose.
No.
All the things. And there were so many plays in the game. There was so many missed layups. So many. I guess there weren't that many turnovers, but it seemed like a lot of turnovers. RJ with the ball would get the ball stolen from him a couple times, bounced off his leg.
Yeah.
There were so many. There was the missed Mitchell Robinson dunk. Mm-hmm. There were so many things that went wrong, and the Knicks won the game, which is crazy.
Yeah, I saw a couple Cavs fans posting the good news is that this was the Knicks' best effort and they barely won. I'm like, IQ is not going to go 0 for 5 with 3 turnovers.
No, yeah.
That's not going to happen again. Barrett, he shot terrible, but he did have 6 assists and 4 steals. So
he had a bunch of steals early on.
He was hustling on defense.
The Knicks defense came out on fire early. And in the early in the game, they're like Randall is on fire, just trying to guard everyone.
Yeah, and the bench was a huge. Actually, before we get to that, did you find it weird that the Cavs' strategy on Brunson was to have C.D. Osman cover him? That seemed a little weird to me.
They the Cavs, you really feel like they do not have great defense. Not great. Sorry, they don't have great bench. That's what I meant to say. They have great defense. They have a very good defense, but their bench is really weak. Jay, what are you doing, Jay?
I'm checking to see if we have emails.
We do have one email.
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
Okay. Can you just not look at your email while we're trying to do the show?
How else am I supposed to queue up the email?
Oh, we'll get to the email later. Just go back.
See, Mark's getting an inside idea of all the stuff I do while we're doing the show. And,
Jay's playing Tetris.
I don't think. Yeah, see.
Okay, we got the email. Okay.
This is what I do when you talk and you can't see my computer.
It's much better then. I can't. I'm never gonna come over to the show again. It was a crazy. So first of all, I thought Tibbs just he was. Do you think Randall came out early? So you took Randall out midway through the first quarter and brought in Obi.
Yeah.
Do you think he did that because Randall was out for 2 weeks, or just because he wanted to change up strategy?
I think he wanted to get Randall back on the bench and kind of feel out how his ankle is feeling and assess the situation. That's the impression I got. Like, once Randall's out there, he's not going to like ask to come back out.
Right.
So you need to pull him and be like, "How is your ankle doing?" So I think that's what it was. I got worried because I thought maybe he gave a signal that his ankle was hurting, but it seemed like it was more just let's assess the situation.
I was thinking also like he hasn't played in 2 weeks. Plus, maybe he's a little more impressed with what Obi's been doing, so he's like, let me put Obi in a little bit earlier, and let me see if like what Obi can do. Like, give him a chance.
And he was good. He was good. The staggering minutes, I think, was good. I think you have fresh legs against the Cavs the whole game.
Yeah,
and they can't do that. Their minutes distribution was all in the 40s.
The Cavs minutes distribution was 44 minutes for Mitchell, 43 for Garland, 43 for Allen, and 38 for Mobley. I don't know why Tibbs forced those Cavaliers to play so many minutes. Like he's overworking that Cavs team.
And the most minutes by any Nick was 34. Randall.
Yeah, I mean the one caveat there, and we didn't talk about. If I told you IQ sucked, RJ sucked, and Brunson was in foul trouble. Only played 9 minutes in the first half. There's no way you think the Knicks win that game. Right.
Yeah, exactly. And Randall's coming back off an injury, hasn't played in 17 days. So you don't even know how that's going to go. It was I'm look now. I do not know.
Brunson only finished the game with 3 fouls. He played most of the second half. Didn't commit another foul.
Didn't foul once in the whole second half.
Oh, crap.
So,
yeah, because he had like 3 quick fouls in that first half.
Yeah.
Annoyingly quick fouls.
Yeah, questionable.
Yeah,
I think 2 were legit, and one of them was like...
I didn't even think anything with that. I thought legitimately he committed a foul. Not that they called... There were some crazy plays they did not call the foul in that game. What did you think of the refereeing? I personally I like 90s refereeing better. I don't care if they let some stuff go.
Me too. I thought they called too many fouls in the first quarter, and then they're like, yeah, we're calling too many fouls. Let's let them play. And then it was, I didn't think there was any like egregious bias on either side.
No, I thought they were foul. There were plays that should have been fouls for both teams that weren't called. There was a lot of contact. That's kind of fun. I like the contact without having to pause the game every 5 seconds for like guys to shoot 2 shots.
Yeah. I didn't think that. I didn't think there was that many questionable calls. Like, obviously, room for improvement, but I've seen way worse ref games. Like, so I wasn't yelling about the refs.
Let's comment on the Cavaliers a little bit. Like what you thought of the players. So I thought, first of all, super impressed with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen him play before, but like he rose to the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
He looks goddamn good. It would be nice to have him next to Jaylen Brown in the Knicks. I mean, Jalen Brunson in the Knicks. That would look goddamn awesome, right?
Yeah.
He's a big shot maker. How worried are you for the rest of the series about Mitchell?
I feel like he's going to get 30 to 40 points every game, but the thing is, I'm not worried about a lot of other players, like their entire bench, really. Like, LeVert's not going to be that bad, but like I'm not worried about LeVert.
Right.
I'm not. I think the Knicks bench is so much better that I think even if you think Cleveland starters are better, the Knicks can just keep running bodies out at you that are all productive, and it's
playing your guys over 40 minutes is not a great strategy. It wears them down, especially if they're playing against fresh legs too much.
Well, I'm glad they did that in game 1 and they lost, because now they're. I mean. The first 3 games are spread out a lot, so I don't think it's going to be as much of an issue. But later in the series, the games are every other day, and if they keep doing that, that could end up being a problem for them.
So I feel like with Mitchell, like he got his points, and he'll go for one of these games. He'll go for 50. There's almost nothing you can do. But what are you typing now, Jay? What the hell are you doing?
Focus.
I have no focus. If I see you doing something else, I'm just like I got to look over and see.
It's got to sit motionless. Okay.
That was a hell of a game. Thank you, Rob. I can actually read the message board now.
So you didn't know I typed to people the whole podcast too?
I don't know what you're doing, Jay. I don't think you should be writing to people. I think you should be just concentrating on our conversation. Make beautiful music with me, Jay. But so obviously he looked really good. Mitchell, I don't know how much you can do. Your goal basically is to slow him down a little bit, make him just miss some shots, and hope that works out. But I gotta say, I was not that impressed with the rest of the team. Like, Garland is their point guard. He shot okay, but, like, he got 1 assist. not a lot of assists.
Yeah.
Mobley's up for Defensive Player of the Year. He was fine on defense. His offense kind of sucked. Mobley did not look that good.
No, he didn't at all. I thought Allen looked good, but not a game changer. But
No,
he looked good.
fine.
He got 14 rebounds. He looked good.
He didn't have a bad. I mean, obviously the game was close, and you have to think like the rest of the series, like what will. So you can have Mitchell go off. Is Garland gonna have like a huge game? He'll have an okay game. What's gonna get better for Cleveland?
I think Garland's going to be a little better.
Okoro is not going to be awful.
Yeah.
Okoro couldn't play offense. Like
Right.
he was terrible. Early in the game, like they basically just left him open from three, and I'm like, that seems like a good strategy.
Yeah. And LeVert. I think
LeVert could have a big game. He can not like obviously not going to get like 40 points, but LeVert can get 20 points and really hurt you.
Yeah. So like those guys can play better for Cleveland, but there was a lot of quickly is not going to be that bad, and neither is RJ. So I feel like.
I mean, how much are you going to have a lot of minutes for like Rubio? Probably not. Bickerstaff, JB Bickerstaff is going to try to like. He's clearly he's up for playing his guys a lot of minutes. So.
Rubio had 6 of the worst playoff minutes I've ever seen in my life. He was an absolute mess. I put a bet on Rubio scoring 5 points because he like had that hot game earlier in the season, and he had like 2 turnovers and 2 fouls in the first minute he was out there, and I'm like, he's gonna get pulled and he's never gonna come back into the game, and that's what happened.
I feel like Dean Wade plays well against the Knicks. He didn't do anything last night, but like I was worried. Guys, I'm just worried about like Dean Wade coming in and hitting like 3 threes against us and being like, God damn it.
Yeah. There's always gonna be that random guy, but they're not deep enough. I'm not saying they can't win the series because
they can't. We already decided, Jay. It's already over.
Like Mitchell can just go supernova, and then you still have Garland that can play at a higher level. But I do think this is a good sign of the way the series is going to go. I mean, Randall just bullying the hell out of Mobley. He can't cover Randall. He can't.
No, and having Cedi Osman out there, like. He's not a good defender, so like, and having cover Brunson's ridiculous.
I thought that was the weirdest strategy of the night. Like, it wasn't 1 or 2 plays. Like they tried it for like the whole fourth quarter almost, and Brunson was just shredding. He was attacking him the whole time.
I felt like there was just so like if you talk about what can be improved, Cleveland like they obviously could play a little better, but I feel like more things went right for them and they lost, whereas more things went wrong for the Knicks.
Yeah.
And like it's just like. IQ is not going to be this bad with this series. IQ had maybe his worst game he's had the entire season.
Yeah.
He's going to look better. Like when Brunson was out, I'm like, well, IQ now, he had a couple of early turnovers. But I'm like, okay, IQ's going to step up in the first half. Mm-hmm. And he didn't. He just looked bad the rest of the first half. And I was like, we're not going to see this from IQ. And RJ was garbage. RJ, I couldn't believe how long he was in the game for.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be this bad, right?
I don't think so. RJ's an up and down streaky player, but I feel like he's not going to go 2 for 12.
I mean, you mentioned earlier also he got the 6 assists, he got 4 steals. He was really giving effort elsewhere, which was like nice. He was doing other things. Randall, he was awesome in the first half. Wasn't as great in the second half, but like it was still great for them coming back. Like Randall will have better games. Brunson, what did Brunson shoot? Brunson shot 11 for 24. Brunson will shoot over 50% from many of the games. Like he's not going to be. He's a
11 for 24 is good though. I'll take that.
It's not bad, but like he can play. I feel like Brunson could play better.
Yeah.
I mean,
if Brunson plays just like this the rest of the series, I'm ecstatic.
The Knicks shot 27% from 3, and I know they're not a good 3-point shooting team, but they could shoot better.
They were
1 for like.
Yeah, they were like 10% like through the second or third quarter. It was really bad.
It was really bad for low. I mean, Josh. Okay, so I want to apologize to you, to all of Nick's Twitter, to the American people, really, for questioning Leon Rose when he traded for Josh Hart. When I thought they traded their draft pick, I was like, "What the hell? Why are they trading for this guy? He's not even signed for next season." And then people were like, "Well, obviously they signed him for a reason. They had some inside story. Him and Brunson are close, obviously from Villanova guys." And then I watched him play. And I'm like, holy shit, I love this guy. Josh Hart is such a goddamn lovable Nick.
He is probably already my favorite Nick on the team, and he's cracking
More than Brunson? Brunson's my favorite Nick right now.
I don't know. I just like Hart's personality, and like Brunson's obviously a better player, but like Hart's funny on social media, and like
Jay sent to me, like I guess Donovan Mitchell posted something about like the game coming, and he just posted "fuck you."
Yeah,
which apparently they're friends according to what they said in the game. But it was just funny. There's no other Nick. You're like, can we take this Nick and plant him in 1995, and he'd fit in so well.
Yeah,
he is such a '90s Nick. I think he described himself as like, I'm a dog. Like I do everything, and you're like, he is. The only thing I give him crap for, I feel like he needs to look for his offense a little more. But
he did last night, 8 for 11.
I feel like there were a couple plays where he passed the ball off, where he could have looked for his even more.
There
so.
was one or two, but
yeah,
when he's shooting like 60-something%, I'll take that.
He also shot that 3 to like with like 2 minutes to go that kind of sealed the like.
Yeah.
Without that 3, they don't win the game.
Yeah.
But his 5 offensive rebounds, he was ridiculous getting the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Knicks, 51 rebounds to 38 rebounds. The rebounding advantage is huge in the series.
Yeah. So the Knicks won the rebounding advantage, 51 to 38 and 17 to 11 on offense. So the rebounding and also turnovers. The Knicks had the one less turnover, but they scored so much more off the turnovers.
Yes, they capitalized on the turnovers more. They kept pointing out in the game. Like the Knicks have 23 points off turnovers, and I don't know what the actual number was.
Yeah, the Cavs had like 6. It was
the Knicks. Yeah. You know what's crazy is like the last 2 weeks of the season, or maybe the last month even, the Knicks defense has not looked that great. And when I was starting to get kind of worried about the Knicks defense. Turns out, come playoff time, we're ready. We're ready to go. The Knicks defense came out to play yesterday.
Yeah.
Cleveland, who has, I mean, I guess they were like, I forget where they finished in offensive rating, but they're one of the best teams in the NBA as far as offense. Mm-hmm. I mean, they were also the number 1 rated defense. Knicks held them under 100 points for game 1. That's pretty goddamn impressive.
Oh, yeah. Did you see? Thanks, Rob. Brunson, he wore, what is it? Josh Hart wore Brunson's Slam magazine cover as a shirt on the way into the game. It was
oh, my God.
Did I show you that?
No, you showed me that. That's hilarious.
It was hilarious. I love that guy.
Oh, my God. Hart is really a very likable. I mean, like, he's like, if you could just say, like, can you be a Knick for life? Because I love you that much. And Hardesty played great also.
Yeah.
Hart was just awesome also. I have to say, so Mitchell Robinson did not look that great in the first half. He looked kind of mediocre. He played better in the second half. And I actually didn't even realize that Hart had played, like, I thought Hart played more minutes than Robinson, because he also closed the game. Mm-hmm. But I guess Robinson played more minutes. But that's also another guy. Mitchell Robinson could have a better game next game.
What did you think of the closing lineup for the Knicks?
So the Knicks close, well, with Randall, Brunson, Grimes, Hart, and Ihart, right?
Yeah.
But they had RJ out there way too long. They with maybe 2 or 3 minutes to go, they replaced RJ with Grimes. I like that closing lineup. What do you think of it?
I think it's their best 5. It's just interesting that RJ's not out there, but RJ was having a bad game, and
RJ had a bad game. I mean, like, Tibbs is going to adapt basically.
Yeah.
I think Jay I guess had tweeted, "Get RJ out of the game right now," which I think was consensus among all Knicks fans.
Yeah,
he was.
Got a lot of love on that.
I mean, it was consensus. Yeah, he did not look that. His shot was just. He was driving to the paint and just having nothing. Like, the ball was stripped from him twice. He kind of. Oh, that's pretty cool. The t-shirt. He seemed to have no. I don't think he finished. I think he might have finished at the rim once in the game, and he hit 1 3. I think.
Yeah, he did hit a 3. When he hit a 3, I'm like, the Knicks are winning this game.
When he hit his 3, I was like, holy shit, I was going to murder him if he didn't hit that 3.
Yeah, because he took 2 bad ones right before that.
Randall, I have to say, he got a big rebound at the end of the game. His rebounding is very important. You can't discount how, like, his bullying and his rebounding are so important. I as much as good as the line of Mobley and Allen are, they're tall, but they're not, like, so, like, Randall can kind of push them around a little bit.
Well, Mobley's tall, but he's a twig. He's a twig compared to Randall. Allen's a much bigger guy, but Mitch is on the same level-ish. He's not going to bully Mitch around, and vice versa. That's kind of a wash, but
I feel like Cleveland does not have the size advantage you'd think with having 2 bigs like that.
No, I don't think they they realized the power of Randall. He's a strong dude, and he plays very physical. And I don't think they were prepared for that. I don't think they have a counter to that unless they want to dust off Robin Lopez.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to dust off. Robin Lopez is not hit. Just like McBride, he's just not coming out. If Robin Lopez steps on the floor, the series is over.
Yeah,
that's something's really going wrong for Cleveland.
That means somebody got into foul trouble really quick, or somebody got hurt,
or that he's like, Mobley's look that bad, I have to bring Robin Lopez in.
I mean, I like Robin Lopez, but
I like him too, but he shouldn't be out there with their team.
Yeah, I mean, but they don't have they don't have anybody else coming off the bench. Dean Wade is their big man off the bench. It's
not. I guess in theory, Robin Lopez would make sense because you don't have any other big men.
Yeah.
But looking just quickly on the players, Obi, we didn't talk about Obi.
Mm-hmm.
Obi, I thought could have. So when he was playing well the last 2 weeks, I felt like he was cutting to the basket more. He was driving. That stuff he did not do, and I'd like to see him do more of that.
Mm-hmm.
He hit a 3, which was nice. He had one leak out dunk, which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All in all, he had a solid enough game. He had one drive that didn't work out well, but generally he was okay.
He played 14 minutes and he was good for those 14 minutes.
He played well enough that you didn't feel like Randall had to play 40 minutes.
Yes.
And Grimes, he was solid on defense. His offense wasn't there for Grimes. Grimes did not attack the basket. He didn't hit 3. Did Grimes hit any threes? He hit 1 3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I'm sorry, Cleveland, Grimes is going to hit some threes. So this is going to get, Grimes is going to get better also. So they had some of the worst games from some of these Knicks.
Yeah.
Actually, all the Knicks young players were shining the last 2 weeks. IQ, Obi, and Grimes were all kind of mediocre.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get better games from these players going forward.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, we right before we started the show, Giannis got injured. He's got a back injury on he was going to the basket, and Kevin Love drew a charge, or some people say it was a dirty charge, whatever. But Giannis is out for that game. Maybe he's out for the playoffs, where maybe I'm presuming too much, but the Knicks would play Cleveland next. Not Cleveland next. They would play Milwaukee next, or if Milwaukee loses, they'll play Miami.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But
anyway, do you want to go to the parade with me? By the way, we are going to next Wednesday. Jay and I are going to meet up to watch the Knicks game. Where are we going, Jay?
Stout.
It's right near MSG. Look up bars near MSG. We're going to go there. We're going to watch the game there. If you have any interest in watching the game with us, having a drink with us, come meet us there.
That's for Game 5.
Game 5, yes.
So if you're thinking of going, message us, and I'll reserve a table. So the New York Knicks Podcast at gmail.com or NY Knicks Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let us know in the next couple days so I can get a head count. We do have an email.
Okay, go for it.
Haggai wrote, sorry, it's been 11 years and I still can't pronounce your name.
But thank you anyway.
Yes. He is a longtime writer. I recognize the name.
Yeah, I recognize it too.
Been a while. I'm so psyched for the playoffs. Cheers, guys. I remember how I looked forward to your reactions in the garbage years, and it made it so much sweeter now to win together also. Last time I wrote in was when Leon just started, and I was pissed about us only signing with CAA nepotism. Well,
can I jump in there? Now we only signed the guys from Villanova.
Right. Well, then they make the playoffs with Elfrid Payton at point guard, so I just decided to shut up. Now, this season, the Knicks did the most Nickian thing ever. They gave CAA's first client a coaching job and signed his son to a $120 million contract. Tell me that's not Knicks as usual. This is the kind of move that we're supposed to regret 3 games in before waiving and stretching the contract over 30 years. What is happening? I'm so confused. I'm not used to things working out for us. If we also got the Cuban pick, I'm sorry we're in the twilight zone. Speaking of, what are the odds that the NBA punishes Cuban either publicly or secretly by dropping his pick a spot in the lottery to give the Knicks the 11th pick? So Cuban got fined $750,000.
Big slap in the wrist.
I wouldn't be surprised if that Dallas pick ends up dropping.
It's just one team above them jumps them. Knicks get their pick.
There's a 20% chance of that happening.
Not bad. 1 in 5.
There's been some, let's just say, miraculous coincidences in the draft. So I would not be surprised if that happened. Let's see. Mark is in love with Jalen Williams' kid we didn't draft. While that kid is a candidate for Rookie of the Year, don't be too upset. Have you seen this kid's hair? He looks like Tito Jackson, 1973. Seriously, though, there's no way in hell Thibs would ever give a player like that any playtime. Not because he's a rookie, not because his hair looks like it came from the movie Semi-Pro. Thibs would hate him because he needs the ball in his hands to be effective. To play for Thibs as a young player, you need to carve out a role first. This is not compatible with Williams' strengths. He's a poor catch-and-shoot player, and he'd be invisible in an Obi-style role.
I mean, that's a solid point. I do think, like, I don't think Thibs really holds back guys that are talented. He does give them a chance, even though they don't necessarily have to play 30 minutes a game year one. But that's a solid point about Jalen Williams. More importantly, holy shit! Like if you look at the previous summer of Leon Rose, when he brings in Fournier, he brings in Kemba, he signs all the guys, and looks like just a terrible, terrible summer. Mm-hmm. His next three moves, forgetting the draft, his next three moves are to bring in Jalen Brunson, Hart, and then Josh Hart. Mm-hmm. All three are such home run. I mean, Hart's a pretty good move. Mm-hmm. The other two are grand slams.
Yeah.
Brunson is. If I told you the Knicks signed Brunson for how to give him the max contract, mm-hmm. and you watched him play, would you be like, the Knicks got a bad deal?
No.
I'd give him a max contract right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact they don't give him a max contract is insane. He is. I don't think we can speak enough about how clutch and how awesome he is.
Seriously, he's the fact that he didn't make an All-Star team is insane to me.
Insane.
But he's huge, and he's one of those players where I'm like, I have like no complaints. Like he's been exactly what the Knicks need.
I mean, it's going too far. I can't say he's the best player since Patrick Ewing, but he's top 5 since Patrick Ewing easily.
Yeah, we don't really have a killer's row since
No,
then.
we do not have a killer's row at all. I mean, I'm just trying not to disrespect Carmelo, and Randall's on the team.
I mean, you got Carmelo, Houston, Sprewell.
I mean, Brunson is... I mean, the guy has won at all levels. Well, not all levels yet, but he won in college. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he won in high school or not. I'm sure he did well in high school. But, like, he just seems like a guy that, like, I am out there to fucking win. I don't know how you dropped me to second round, but I have a chip in my shoulder. You offer me $55 million, I'll go to New York and win there instead. What the hell's wrong with you?
I think everybody who heavily favored the Cavs didn't realize that Brunson beat up on Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs last year too.
Last year, like, Donovan Mitchell played him, and Jalen Brunson outplayed him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I can't believe Dallas. It is shocking to me that we have Brunson's 25 years old.
I think 26 now.
26.
But he's
okay.
just turned. Yeah.
So basically, you get him in his prime. He's going to be awesome going forward.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that, like, he is just that instinct of, like, killer instinct. I don't know. And Josh Hart was such an amazing, like, addition to this team.
Rob said if the Knicks win the title, he's sticking to his tattoo idea.
What was the tattoo idea, Rob?
And then we had a Twitter question.
Yeah.
And that is, Tibbs coached a great game. This is from NYK Freshman. Tibbs coached a great game, but the question is, did he do it on purpose, or is he driven by circumstances?
So I think we talked about before, the Randall minutes, like the change up of Randall minutes, or when Obi came in, might have been more circumstantial. Otherwise, I don't know. What else did, like... He ran interesting lineups. He put Mitch someone with the bench unit.
Well, you could say, like, he had to mix up some minutes because of the Brunson foul trouble.
Yeah.
But I think Tibbs has been, toward the end of the season, experimenting with staggering minutes. Definitely the 9-man rotation. But I think he's been staggering minutes, having RJ play more with the bench, and Hart close the game. So I think it was a combination. But I think this overall, like, especially the second half, I think was the way Tibbs wanted to coach the game.
I think the first 2 years he was here, he's a little too locked in on what the starting lineup is. But he's generally been a little bit more flexible about the game closing lineups. Mm-hmm. And I think overall this year you've seen a lot more flexibility from him overall. Mm-hmm. I don't know. If Mark said if the Knicks won the title, he'd consider a Knicks tattoo, and I went one step further and said that if they win, I'm flat out getting it. Okay, Rob, we will go. If the Knicks win the title this year, I will meet you at the tattoo place.
All right. I will meet you guys, both of you guys, there for support.
Most open-minded. Tibbs is, this is the most well-rounded, most open-minded he's been. Thank you, Rob. Tibbs has been really, Tibbs, I don't know how people I really don't understand how people are still like, I don't like Tibbs. I want Tibbs fired, or he's not done a good job with his team. Tibbs has had an awesome year with this team. He's shown flexibility. Everyone killed Tibbs for not being a good offensive coach, and he doesn't obviously run amazing plays. Knicks were third in offensive rating. He's figured something out.
Yeah, he also outcoached was it Bickerstaff?
Yeah.
I said it before, but having Osman cover Brunson just was wild to me. I guess he was worried about Mitchell getting in foul trouble, but
also Mitchell can't really cover him that well either.
I hope they keep doing that because
well, also you'd think they had played Osman over Okoro. Okoro's minutes should have been more, but they did Bickerstaff was just like not a fan of what Okoro was doing out there.
Well, Okoro was playing like garbage too.
Yeah, I mean he could have a better. He's not the best offensive player, but he's not this bad.
Yeah. But
okay.
Okoro was coming back from an injury too, so they might wanted to limit his minutes a little bit.
Okay, so we game 2 is Tuesday night. What's going to happen, Jay? I think I predicted 6. You predicted 7. The Knicks win. Mm-hmm. We are doing a Knicks podcast. We kind of have to predict the Knicks are going to win. Mm-hmm. But does it change anything for you as far as the outcome? Not obviously, you're not going to go with Cleveland winning. But I'm saying, are you thinking the Knicks will win in less games?
Yeah, I'm thinking Knicks in 6 now.
Yeah, 6. I mean, there's going to be one game where Cleveland just smokes us.
Yeah,
I do think. Well, Tuesday night is such a big game. The Knicks win Tuesday night. Series goes 4 or 5 games. Series is over. But I feel like Cleveland's going to come out pretty big on Tuesday. There's always all these overreactions. Like when something happens, you're like, Knicks won the first game. They're going to win the title. Knicks win the second game. We have to rebuild.
Yeah. That's the highs and lows of the playoffs. I feel a lot better that they, under the circumstances with the foul trouble and Randall coming back, that they won. It does make me feel more confident for the rest of the series. I mean, easily could have went like the Atlanta series where they just got smoked and you're just like, oh shit. But this was a very big confidence builder, and I think for the Knicks roster too, it was.
I mean, Randall hit an early 3, I was like, great. He needed to have some good things happen early in the game.
Yeah.
He had the bad Atlanta series. He was terrible in the Atlanta series. A lot of guys, and not comparing the players at all, but Shaq got smoked in the finals by Houston. And obviously he ended up becoming one of the all-time greats. And again, Randall, not comparing at all, but just saying, even really great players had bad,
Well, we also have to remember in Atlanta, Randall didn't have much behind him at all.
Help.
So yes. Atlanta could double and triple team Randall the whole time. They can't do that now. So, obviously Randall's going to play better if he's doing one-on-one or the occasional double as opposed to getting double and triple the whole game.
The Knicks' second best player was Derrick Rose with Randall when against the Hawks. The Knicks could not win if Randall did not have a big game.
Yeah.
Here, Randall could have a bad game. The Knicks could still win the game.
Yeah.
Brunson can go off. Other guys can go off. Knicks are to Leon Rose, who I've criticized way too much. Mm-hmm. He's assembled a pretty darn good and deep team.
Yeah. So we just want to do a quick reaction episode for you guys today, and then we'll do another episode Wednesday after game 2.
Yes.
And then send us a message if you want to meet up for game 5.
Yes. I will actually be there in game 3. I'm bringing my son to the playoffs. I cannot wait to. I've never been to a Knicks playoff game. I'm so excited. Have you been?
I have never been to a Knicks playoff game, so I didn't get tickets for this round, but if they make it to the second round, I'm 100% going.
Jay's holding off the finals.
Yeah.
Okay, second round, Jay's in. So when the Knicks play Miami in the second round, sorry, Giannis.
Oh my God, that would be.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. The Knicks play the Bucks, you're like, okay, great season. We made it to the second round.
Yeah.
They play Miami, you're like, shit, how far can we go?
Yeah. I feel like the Knicks match up really well against Miami. So.
My son said, Dad, and he's only been alive for just under 12 years. He said, Dad, I think it's the Knicks' year this year. And I said, you are right. I told him we're going to go to the parade. He said, there's a parade? I'm like, yeah, there's a parade if you win the title. We're going to be there.
All right, so thanks for listening, everybody, and we will be back soon.
Happy trails
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. this is the end.
Say goodbye. You better go away.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Just leave me alone.
Feels so good to say goodbye.
I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl.
Goodbye, 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 everybody.
Music clip.
Hey,
But if you could post this, if the Knicks beat Cleveland,